Hello and a very warm welcome. Let's talk Mercedes and that elusive 2022 seat. We know Lewis Hamilton has one seat as he signed the contract. I want the people to get involved in this one. Who deserves that seat? Is it George Russell or is it Valtteri Bottas? Comment down below and get involved. And with a massive gap now till Silverstone, also get comments in for video ideas regarding Formula 1 and you can feature in the title. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, you know my thoughts on this. George Russell deserves his chance. He deserved his chance 2 years ago and he's proved himself. Now we're going to do pros for both drivers and we're going to do like cons. So yeah. In my opinion, George Russell deserves the 2022 Mercedes seat. He's proved himself and he deserves a chance now. And I do say, if Russell is not given the Mercedes drive in 2022, he needs to leave the Mercedes program. Yes, they've been a massive influence in his career. They've helped him in his steps, in his path to get to F1. But this is brutal. This is F1. He needs to be selfish. Say what you want, he's wasting his talent at Williams. Wasting his talent. This is a champion in the making. And he's like tossing it up every week at Williams. So yeah, I get his loyalty to Mercedes, but I would say to George, time to be selfish. Because what do you want to be known as? A Mercedes like prodigy driver who never gets given an opportunity, or do you want to be known as a world champion? So yeah, I highly rate George Russell. He is a world champion in the making, but he's got to be selfish and think about his career. So yeah, let's get into the pros and cons of both drivers. Now we'll start with Valtteri Bottas. The pros: he's reliable. He's been there since 2017. Mercedes like him. It's a nice environment. He's a team player, as he's shown many times. And yeah, you're not going to get any animosity with Valtteri. He's a laid-back guy, pretty easygoing. And yeah, there's no tension, there's no animosity. So yeah, he's a very reliable guy. And he's also under the wing kind of Toto Wolff. The pros for George Russell is he's a future world champion and he's proved himself time and time again, and yet his chance still eludes him. GP3 champion, GP2 champion, destroyed his teammate every single time in Formula 1. Yes, Robert Kubica scored the point, but Russell, he's absolutely hammered Kubica and Latifi. And he does it week in, week out. And he's outperforming the car that he's in. And yeah, I see him as a champion in the making. When he got a chance at Mercedes, I mean, he basically beat Valtteri Bottas, didn't he? I mean, Bottas got pole, but Russell should have won the race, if not for the puncture. So, the negatives about Bottas. He's inconsistent. He's not a champion. He's a good driver. He's not elite level. He's not a champion. He's very inconsistent. 9 wins in 4 and a bit years, I think is quite disgraceful, to be honest, for a Mercedes driver, especially when he's in the best car. I mean, 9 wins. Lewis won 11 last year alone. I mean, it's a shocking record. He's very inconsistent. And he's not that great at overtaking. You notice quite a bit. He gets stuck behind cars and then he just stays there for the whole race. Yeah. He's not ruthless enough for me, Bottas. I like it when Bottas is angry and he shows a bit of fight. But he is what he is. He's a number 2 and he's a lapdog for Lewis Hamilton. He's a Massa. He's a Barrichello. They'll never be champions. They're just lapdogs. And that's what Bottas is. Negatives about George. When he's had his opportunity to score points in Imola twice, he kind of fluffed it. Yeah, he actually did fluff it both times, in fact. Big chance at Austria. He needs that point. He needs that point. It's risky bringing Russell into Mercedes because it could turn Hamilton-Rosberg very toxic. But yeah, it would be great to see two British drivers in Mercedes. I'm sick and tired of this now. Russell deserves his opportunity. I'm sick to death. And I absolutely hate the media of like Formula One. Absolute sat on the fence about this. You notice the media, they actually are very kind to Valtteri Bottas. Very kind to him. And they don't say it how it is, in my opinion. They'll be like, oh, Valtteri will be there for 2022. It's wrong. That is wrong at the highest level. I'm absolute sick to death of this now. George deserves his chance. Give him a chance. If I was Toto Wolff, he's going to go down it a lot in my estimation, Toto Wolff, if he doesn't give Russell a chance. He may go down as one of the best team principals in Formula One history. But he needs to grow a pair of bollocks and give Russell his chance. Valtteri Bottas has been there 4 and a bit years. He's never got close to a championship. It's done with 3 rounds to go, 5 rounds to go. It's awful. And this year he will be like 3rd, 4th in the championship. Yeah. He's in a Mercedes. He's never got close to the World Championship. I don't get to love him for Valtteri Bottas. He deserves to be on the grid. But if I was Toto Wolff, I'd promote George Russell and I'd drop Bottas back to Williams. Is the rumours true that we're going to hear something at Silverstone? George Russell announced as a Mercedes driver for 2022 at his home race. I hope it is. I'd be absolutely buzzing. But I'm worried. I'm worried for George. Because if he doesn't get given his opportunity, that's another year at Williams. Oh, don't worry, George. You'll be there in 2023. And then they keep Bottas. And then it's just rolling. He deserves his chance now. Toto is taking the piss now. He is taking the piss. I say it how I see it. I always give an honest opinion. And I don't care if it's controversial. I brought a video out saying Ricciardo won't be world champion. I mean, you got to be honest. That's how I always am. Like, for me, Bottas has had enough opportunity to prove himself. And yeah, he's not got close to the championship. I mean, again, Valtteri, he wins like 2 races a season. He's averaging 2 wins a season. He's fantastic round Russia and Austria. But what about the other 19 races? Yeah. I wanted to do this video. Yeah. I want the people to get involved. Comment down below. Who deserves that Mercedes 2022 seat? Russell or Bottas? For me, 110%. Russell has to be in. Lewis Hamilton, George Russell. That should be the lineup for Mercedes in 2022. An all-British lineup. Yeah. And if George doesn't get promoted in 2022, he should leave the Mercedes program. He should be selfish and focus on his own career. Because, like, he's like a carrot, isn't he? He's just been dangled. Like, his whole F1, like, being a champion, winning races, it's basically with Toto Wolff. And he's just dangling George. And, oh, we'll just see what Valtteri does for the rest of the year. Oh, look at Valtteri. He got P2 at Austria. We're seeing the real Valtteri. But, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, just look at the drivers' standings. Just look at Bottas' stats this season. He's not won a race. There's a reason for that. Because he's a good driver, but he's not elite level. And he ain't world champion material. George Russell is championship material. I mean, he comes in. Lewis has COVID. George comes into the Mercedes. He has to wear a size bigger shoe. Car's not to his liking. He nearly got pole position. And then he gets a perfect start, dominating the race. Then all the nonsense issue. And then he passed Valtteri Bottas. It was heartbreak. I mean, he's not very lucky, is he, George Russell? Let's be real. But that's my one critique of George. He's had 2 opportunities to score points at Imola, and he can only blame himself both times. The first one, dropped it under the safety car. His mistake. No getting away from it. And the second one this season at Imola, where he tried to overtake Valtteri Bottas. In my opinion, his mistake again, as he got 2 wheels on the grass and slammed into the side of Bottas. This is a huge decision, and it's in the hands of Toto Wolff. Comment down below. Who are you choosing to drive that Mercedes in 2022 with Lewis Hamilton? It's a massive call. And rule changes. It's a huge decision. What do I think will happen? Toto will be a pussy and he'll go for Bottas. And he'll say George will get his chance in 23. That's what I think will happen. What should happen is Bottas back to Williams and Russell to Mercedes. That's what should happen. Comment down below. We'll always reply. And make sure to comment some F1 ideas, as we've got a long 2 weeks before Silverstone. Adios. Come on. Got to be George in that Mercedes.